Hello, friends. Welcome back to our channel. Today we will listen to an interesting story. They say a single thread can mend a torn cloth. But in the mountains of Nepal, one thread of compassion nearly tore a family apart. Long ago in the Himalayan town of Patan, there lived a skilled tailor named Anila. Her stitches were so fine that nobles traveled from afar to wear her garments. But Anila's greatest gift was not her hands. It was her heart. She could never walk past the poor or the sick without offering help. One bitter winter, as snow swallowed the rooftops, a beggar woman appeared outside Anila's shop. Her clothes were ragged, her child shivering in her arms. "Please," the woman whispered, "just a scrap of cloth so my baby might live the night." Without hesitation, Anila tore a piece from the silk gown she had been sewing for the queen herself. She wrapped the child and said softly, "Life is worth more than gold." The beggar woman and her child were deeply grateful to Anil. Before leaving, the woman promised, "May your good deeds bring you heaven's reward." But Anila knew not all would share her sentiment. That same day, the queen arrived, radiant in her new gown. But upon seeing its shredded hem, her face grew dark as thunderclouds. "What is the meaning of this, Anila?" she demanded. "Do you mock me, bringing this tattered thing to my court? Do you not know silk takes weeks to make, and a fool with scissors can spoil it in a moment?" Tears welled up in Anila's eyes, yet she lifted her chin. "Majesty, when I saw that child, I could not bear her freezing in the cold. I hope you understand." "Understand?" the queen screamed. "How dare you make such a choice? A beggar is no concern of yours. You have ruined the gown I planned to wear for the emperor's ball. How can I show my face to the other queens now?" She paced like a caged tigress, her every step shaking with rage. "I will not have you slandering my reputation. Do you think a beggar deserves the cloth meant for a queen?" "Majesty," Anila whispered, still meeting the queen's furious gaze, "a queen wears many jewels, but none as bright as the sun and moon. When I see suffering, I cannot turn away. I hope you understand." The court gasped at her boldness, but the queen only fumed, wondering how she could punish this insolent girl. But she knew slander could taint her reputation. So she asked, "Have you any idea how much this gown cost? Have you thought how else I might be repaid?" Anila understood. The queen wanted her to earn a new gown with her needle, working overtime till she paid the price of the silk. "Is that what you wish, Majesty?" "Indeed," the queen snapped, noticing the shocked faces around her. "Let us keep the punishment fitting the crime, and that shall be my last word on this matter." Though Anila hated to admit it, she had met her match, so she bowed her head and went back to work. Days turned into weeks, and Anila worked tirelessly. But amidst the chaos of her shop, she found joy in tiny moments, like the beggar woman returning to offer thanks, or when children playing outside her shop sang songs of her kindness. Still, the new gown gave her fits. It was to be her masterpiece, worthy of a queen. Every stitch had to be perfect. One evening, as Anila worked late into the night, a figure approached her shop. Startled, Anila dropped her needle. It was Prince Arjun, the queen's son, known throughout the land for his wit and charm. But here he stood sheepishly outside her humble shop. "Prince Arjun," Anila exclaimed, surprised. "How are you here? Did my light attract you?" The prince chuckled and stepped inside. "No, Anila. My mother has forbidden me from speaking to you since you offended her. But I couldn't help but overhear your laughter tonight. Could I intrude and ask what makes you so happy?" At first, Anila hesitated, unsure if she could trust him. But something in the prince's eyes, a glimmer of kindness, made her open up. She told him about the beggar woman and the joy it had brought her to help. The prince listened intently, his gaze fixed on her. When she finished, he said softly, "You do not realize, Anila, that you have taught me more about kindness than any royal tutor ever could. Tonight, I feel I learned the true meaning of compassion." Anila blushed at his praise. Then she noticed the sadness clouding his features. "Is anything troubling you, Prince Arjun?" "It is my mother," the prince sighed. "Ever since my father died, she has buried herself in silks and jewels, seeking solace in material things. She has forgotten how to smile, to laugh, to truly live. And I fear the sight of my own face reminds her of my father, for she has never looked at me with the same fondness. Sometimes I wonder if I am truly her son, or was I born only to remind her of the emptiness in her heart?" As he poured out his heart, Anela felt a surge of sympathy for the lonely prince. She wished she could help him heal his wounds, just as she mended torn fabrics. Looking into his sad eyes, she said gently, "Your Highness, sometimes the greatest wounds are those the eyes cannot see. But even in the darkest nights, a single spark can bring light. I pray you find that spark soon, for you deserve all the happiness in the world." The prince smiled sadly. "Thank you, Anela. You have given me much to ponder. I must return now, but know that you have touched my heart." And with that, he vanished into the night. The next day, Anila continued her work, her thoughts often drifting to her conversation with Prince Arjun. She realized that while the queen may have ordered the gown, it was the prince who had sparked a new understanding in her heart. She stitched with renewed passion, infusing each stitch with the strength and tenderness she had discovered within herself. Meanwhile, Prince Arjun couldn't stop thinking about Anela's words. He visited her shop again, drawn by her quiet strength and compassion. They talked for hours about their dreams for Patan, where kindness and empathy were celebrated, not scorned. Arjun returned home, shaken by his feelings for Anela, but determined to make a change. He began visiting orphanages and offering aid to the sick. He organized feasts, inviting the poor to share in delicious food and spreading joy wherever he went. The townspeople watched in amazement as the once distant prince opened his heart and home to all. Whispers echoed through the streets. Was Anela the tailor responsible for this transformation? Meanwhile, the queen grew increasingly suspicious of her son's activities. Why did he spend so much time at that humble tailor shop? And why had he taken up such radical acts of charity? She questioned him, demanding he sever ties with Anela, but Arjun refused. Their bond had become too strong. Seeing her son's unwavering resolve, the queen realized she could not force him to abandon Anela, but she would make sure she paid dearly for her insolence. She summoned Anela to her court, ready to deliver her final verdict. But what she heard next shocked her. The entire courtroom had changed. Gone were the velvet ropes separating commoners from the court. Instead, benches had been arranged, inviting everyone to sit together. The room buzzed with activity. Doctors examined the sick, teachers tutored children, and volunteers organized supplies for the needy. In the center sat the beggar woman and her child, healthier and happier than before. And there was Arjun, tending to his mother, who seemed more at ease than anyone could remember. The queen gaped in disbelief. All this time, Anela had used her influence to improve her town, not realizing the extent of her impact. Overwhelmed with shame, the queen realized she had misjudged Anela. In a trembling voice, she apologized, admitting she had been wrong. Tears welled up in Anela's eyes, but she held back her tears and replied, "Your Majesty, I forgive you, but let us forget such misunderstandings in the future. Compassion is our strength. Let us embrace it, not fear it." From that day forward, the queen and Anila became close friends, sharing a bond that went beyond their different social standings. They worked together to uplift the town, making Patan a beacon of kindness and compassion. And Prince Arjun, well, some say he wed a princess for duty, but always carried a small embroidered thread in his pocket, the one Anila had left behind. And so the story teaches us. We can learn that compassion, though it may scandalize the proud, binds humanity together. A single act of kindness can outlast crowns, titles, and even time itself. If Anila's courage inspired you, share this story with someone who has shown you kindness.